All right. Hello, I'm Lee. Happy Sabbath. Back again for the study of Psalms. We were at 135 last time. We're on 136. I did the whole stream yesterday, and it didn't load up for some reason. So I'm going to check, make sure it's working today. Finally, it's working. Man, I messed with the settings and I messed stuff up. So, all right. So it looks like we're good to go. Psalm 136. I got some Dead Sea Scrolls manuscript translations pulled up here. Brenton Septuagint is one chapter behind. Thompson Septuagint 136. The reason I use the Septuagint is a lot of times in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the readings will match the Septuagint that was preserved, and it was dropped out of the Masoretic text, which has a lot of issues, but I still use it. KJV. Samaritan Pentateuch is only the first 5 books. A lot of those readings are preserved in the Dead Sea Scrolls as well. Blue Letter Bible and Aramaic Targums, which a lot of it matches the Masoretic text. So, in case anybody didn't know, it's always good to check. So, Psalms 136, give thanks to Yahuwah. Yes, his name is Yahuwah. It was removed out of our Bibles and replaced with Lord 6,000 something times. Dead Sea Scrolls show that his name was in the Dead Sea Scrolls. No vowel points. For he is good, for his loving kindness endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods, for his loving kindness endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who alone does wonders, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who by understanding made the heavens, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who spread out the earth above the waters, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who made the great lights, for his loving kindness endures forever. The sun and the moon, for his loving kindness endures forever. So verse 7 should have sun and the moon, but it does not. It was dropped out. So you'll see in, I think, all the translations it was dropped out. So this Dead Sea Scrolls preserves the earlier reading, of which everything else was translated out of. See, it's dropped out of the Aramaic Targums, but it is here. Next verse. The sun rule the day, for his loving kindness endures forever. Moon and stars to rule by night. The day starts in the morning. The sun, day. Moon and stars, night. For his loving kindness endures forever. We don't take our presuppositions and take them into the Bible and then read the Bible. We read the Bible and let it correct our understanding. To him who struck down the Egyptian firstborn, for his loving kindness endures forever, and brought out Israel from among them, for his loving kindness endures forever, with a strong hand and with an outstretched arm, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who divided the Red Sea apart, for his loving kindness endures forever, and made Israel to pass through the middle of it, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who divided the Red Sea apart. This is all praise of the Father right here. And the Father works through the Son. This is the book of Enoch that was considered scripture till they decided to take it out, because man thinks he's above God. He just does what he thinks. So you got the Exodus account in Enoch chapter 89. This is the animal dream vision. And the reason this was hard for them to corrupt is it takes a lot of study, and you have to have the spirit of understanding to be able to understand what's going on here. So it's harder for man to mess with it. And a lot of the scriptures are like that. Holy Spirit inspired, so they could only mess with certain things because they couldn't understand what to mess with. So 28, but the sheep escaped from that water and went forth into the wilderness where there was no water and no grass. They began to open their eyes and to see, and saw the Lord of the sheep. I saw the Lord of the sheep pasturing them and giving them water and grass, that sheep going and leading them. And that sheep ascended to the summit of that lofty rock. So that sheep is Moses, and the Lord of the sheep sent it to them. Oh, I missed it. Go back here. Thereupon I saw the wolves, how they oppressed the sheep exceedingly with all their power, and the sheep cried aloud. The wolves are the Egyptians, the sheep are Israel. And the Lord came to the sheep, and they began to smite those wolves, and the wolves began to make lamentation. But the sheep became quiet, and forthwith ceased to cry out. And I saw the sheep till they departed from amongst the wolves. But the eyes of the wolves were blinded, and those wolves departed in pursuit of the sheep with all their power. And the Lord of the sheep went with them, that's Yahushua, as their leader, and all his sheep followed him, and his face was dazzling and glorious and terrible to behold. But the wolves began to pursue those sheep till they reached a sea of water, and that sea was divided, and the water stood on this side and on that side before their face, and their Lord led them and placed himself between them and the wolves. So Exodus 14 here. And the angel of Elohim which went before the camp of Israel removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all night. So Yahushua went between them. See there? Their Lord led them and placed himself between them and the wolves. And as those wolves did not yet see the sheep, they proceeded into the midst of that sea, and the wolves followed the sheep, and those wolves ran after them into that sea. And when they saw the Lord of the sheep, they turned to flee before his face, but that sea gathered itself together and became as it had been created, and the water swelled and rose till it covered those wolves. And I saw till all the wolves who pursued those sheep perished and were drowned. And we read that already. That sheep ascended to the summit of that lofty rock, and the Lord of the sheep sent it to them. And after that, I saw the Lord of the sheep who stood before them. His appearance was great, terrible, and majestic, and all those sheep saw him and were afraid before his face. Let's see, Exodus 19. All right, so you'll see here, Exodus 19, it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, Elohim, and they stood at the nether part of the mount, and Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahuwah descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. So he descended upon it. The Lord of the sheep stood before them, and they were afraid before his face. Deuteronomy 5. And Deuteronomy 5:24, and you said, behold, the Lord our God, Yahuwah our Elohim, hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that God doth talk with man, and he liveth. Now therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us if we hear the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim any more. Then we shall die. For who is there of all flesh that hath heard the voice of the living Elohim speaking out of the midst of the fire as we have and lived? See? They all feared and trembled because of him, and they cried to that sheep, Moses, with them, which was amongst them, we are not able to stand before our Lord or to behold him. And that sheep which led them again ascended to the summit of that rock, but the sheep began to be blinded to wander from the way which he had showed them, but that sheep wot not thereof. And the Lord of the sheep was wrathful exceedingly against them, and that sheep discovered it, and went down from the summit of the rock, and came to the sheep, and found the greatest part of them blinded and fallen away. That's when they made the calf. And when they saw it, they feared and trembled at its presence, desiring to return to their folds. And that sheep took other sheep with it, and came to those sheep which had fallen away, and began to slay them. And the sheep feared its presence, and thus that sheep brought back those sheep that had fallen away, and they returned to their folds. And I saw in this vision till that sheep became a man, and built a house for the Lord of the sheep, that's Moses, and placed all the sheep in that house. And I saw till this sheep which had met that sheep which led them fell asleep. And I saw till all the great sheep perished, and little ones arose in their place. And they came to a pasture and approached a stream of water. Then that sheep, their leader, which had become a man, withdrew from them and fell asleep. And all the sheep saw it and cried over it with a great crying. And I saw till they left off crying for that sheep and crossed that stream of water. And there arose the two sheep as leaders in the place of those which had led them and fallen asleep. That's Joshua and Caleb. To him who divided the Red Sea apart, for his loving kindness endures forever. But overthrew Pharaoh and his army in the Red Sea, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who led his people through the wilderness, for his loving kindness endures forever. So David knows Enoch. To him who smote great kings, for his mercy endures forever, and slew mighty kings, for his mercy endures forever. Zion, king of the Amorites, for his loving kindness endures forever. And Og, king of Bashan, for his loving kindness endures forever. And gave their land for an inheritance, for his loving kindness endures forever. Even an inheritance to Israel his servant, for his loving kindness endures forever. Who remembered us in our low estate, for his loving kindness endures forever. And has delivered us from our adversaries, for his loving kindness endures forever. 25. Who gives food to all flesh, for his loving kindness endures forever. Oh, give thanks to the Elohim of heaven, for his loving kindness endures forever. And also, line upon line, here a little, there a little. John 1:18, no man hath seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. Heard the voice at the mount, right? John 5:37, and the Father himself, which hath sent me, this is the Son talking, hath borne witness of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. So whose voice did they hear? They heard the Messiah on the mount. You have neither heard his voice at any time. Straight up. Why do people not listen to the Messiah? He tells you straight up. He led the Israelites out of Egypt. Psalm 137, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yes, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hung our harps on the willows in the midst of it, for there they had taken us captive. There they that had taken us captive asked of us the words of a song, and they that had carried us away asked a hymn, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How should we sing Yahuwah's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget its skill. May my tongue cleave to my throat if I do not remember thee. If I do not prefer Jerusalem as the chief of my joy. Remember, O Yahuwah, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to its foundations. Wretched daughter of Babylon, blessed shall he be who shall reward thee as thou hast rewarded us. Happy shall he be who takes and dashes your little ones against the rock. if we go over here, let's see here. Yep, chapter view, Obadiah. Esau's in big trouble. See Genesis 1? Yeah. All right, Obadiah. Here we go. The vision of Obadiah. This is what Yahuwah says about Edom. We have heard news from Yahuwah, and an ambassador sent among the nations, saying, Arise, and let's rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made you small among the nations. You are greatly despised. The pride of your heart has deceived you, you who dwell in the clefts of the rock. Those whose habitation is high, who says in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though you mount on high as the eagle, though you will set your nest among the stars, I will bring you down from there, says Yahuwah. If thieves came to you, if robbers by night, oh, what disaster awaits you. Wouldn't they only steal until they had enough? If grape pickers came to you, wouldn't they leave some gleaning grapes? If grape pickers came to you, wouldn't they some green? How Esau will be ransacked, how his hidden treasures are sought out. All the men of your alliance have brought you on your way, even to the border. The men who are at peace with you have deceived you and prevailed against you. Friends who eat your bread lay a snare under you. There is no understanding in him. Won't I in that day, says Yahuwah, destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mountain of Esau? Your mighty men Teman will be dismayed, to the end that everyone may be cut off from the mountain of Esau by slaughter, for the violence done to your brother Jacob. In the day of Jerusalem, Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to its foundations. Raise, destroy. Shame will cover you, and you will be cut off forever. In that day, in the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that strangers carried away his substance, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots for Jerusalem, even you are like one of them. What does it say here? By the rivers of Babylon, we remembered Zion. That's when the captivity, when Judah and Benjamin were taken by Babylon, right? So he tells you, in the day that the strangers carried away his substance and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots for Jerusalem. Let's see, second. Where's it at? So you'll see here in Daniel, the third year of the reign of Joachim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And Yahuwah gave Joachim, king of Judah, into his hand with a part of the vessels of the house of Elohim, which he carried into the land of Shinar, Babylon, to the house of his Elohim, and he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his Elohim. And also, pretty sure it's in Kings also. Yep, 2 Kings. Let's see. No, that's not it. Vessels to Babylon. There we go. Chronicles 36:7. Nebuchadnezzar also carried of the vessels of the house of Yahuwah to Babylon and put them in his temple at Babylon. Yeah. Jeremiah. Ezra. Plenty of witnesses. Even you are like one of them, but don't look down on your brother in the day of his disaster, and don't rejoice over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Don't speak proudly in the day of distress. Don't enter into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Don't look down on their affliction in the day of their calamity, neither seize their wealth on the day of their calamity. Don't stand in the crossroads to cut off those of his who escape. Don't deliver up those of his who remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahuwah is near all the nations. As you have done, it will be done to you. Your deeds will return upon your own head. For as you have drunk on my holy mountain, so will all the nations drink continually. Yes, they will drink, swallow down, and will be as though they had not been. But in Mount Zion there will be those who escape, and it will be holy. The house of Jacob will possess their possessions. The house of Jacob will be a fire, the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. They will burn among them and devour them. There will not be any remaining to the house of Esau. Indeed, Yahuwah has spoken. Those of the south will possess the mountain of Esau, and those of the lowland, the Philistines. They will possess the field of Ephraim and the field of Samaria. Benjamin will possess Gilead. The captives of this army of the children of Israel, who are among the Canaanites, will possess even Zarephath, and the captives of Jerusalem, who are in Sepharad, will possess the cities of the Negev. That's interesting. There's Sephardic Jews. Saviors will go up on Mount Zion to judge the mountains of Esau, and the kingdom will be Yahuwah's, the saints. Chapter 138 by David. I will give thanks to Yahuwah with my whole heart before the Elohim. I will sing praises to you. I will bow down toward your holy temple. I will give thanks to your name for your loving kindness and for your truth. Psalm 119, 142 and Psalm 119, 151. His commandments and law are truth. For you have exalted your name and your word above all. Messiah. In the day that I called you, you answered me. You encouraged me with strength in my soul. All the kings of the earth will give you thanks, Yahuwah, for they have heard the words of your mouth. Yes, they will sing of the ways of Yahuwah, for great is Yahuwah's glory. Kings of the earth. If you go to Holy Nation, the saints, you are a chosen generation. 1 Peter 2:9. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that he should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. So very well, Revelation 5:10, it has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. Yes, they will sing of the ways of Yahuwah, for great is Yahuwah's glory. Do the kings of the earth now sing of the ways of Yahuwah? For though Yahuwah is high, yet he looks after the lowly, but the proud he knows from afar. Though I walk in the middle of trouble, you will revive me. You will stretch out your hand against the wrath of my enemies. Your right hand will save me. Yahuwah will fulfill that which concerns me. Your loving kindness, Yahuwah, endures forever. Don't forsake the works of your own hands. Psalm 139. Remember, in the original scrolls, there was no chapter breaks in verses. It was just continuous. The chapter breaks are there to help us, but sometimes they get in the way. So, Psalm 139, for the end, a psalm of David. O Yahuwah, thou hast proved me and known me. Thou knowest my sitting down and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts long before. Thou hast traced my path and my bed, and hast foreseen all my ways. For there is no unrighteous word in my tongue. Behold, O Yahuwah, thou hast known all things. The last and the first, thou hast fashioned me, and laid thine hand upon me. Isaiah 48:12, hearken unto me, O Jacob and Yisrael, my called. I am he, I am the first, I am also the last. Who said that? The first and the last, Isaiah 41. Red letters is Messiah, Revelation 2:8, and unto the angel of the church in Smyrna write, to these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive, Messiah. He's the first and the last. And also, who created all things? Colossians 1. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature? That's Messiah. What do you say God is? Invisible. For by him were all things created that are in heaven, that are in the earth, visible and invisible, spirits, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. He is before all things, and by him all things consist. He's before the creation. Messiah. The last and the first. Thou hast fashioned me. Who's David talking about? Messiah. The knowledge of thee is too wonderful for me. It is very difficult. I cannot attain to it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the dawn and settle in the uttermost parts of the sea, there your hand will lead me, and your right hand will hold me. If I say, surely the darkness will overwhelm me, the light around me will be night. Even the darkness doesn't hide from you, but the night shines as the day. The darkness is... Sorry. The darkness is like light to you, for you form my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. So why does he say the darkness is like light to you? He separated light and darkness for us. Where's that? See if I can find it. In him is no darkness. There it is. 1 John 1:5. This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you, that Elohim is light, and in him is no darkness at all. The darkness is like light to you, for you form my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I'll give thanks to you. You are fearful, and your works are very wonderful. That's another thing there. It shows this is not in the manuscript, and this is, you are fearful, and your works are very wonderful. Psalm 139. Verse 14. Thou art fearfully wonderful, wondrous. Wondrous are thy works. So Septuagint preserves a similar reading. Thou art awfully wonderful. Thy works are wonderful. Masoretic text has the defective reading, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And Aramaic Targums 139. Your works are wonderful, and my soul knows it well. You are fearful, and your works are wonderful. Yeah. It's not, you have miraculously done awesome things. Yep. My soul knows that very well. My pain wasn't hidden from you when I was made in secret, woven together in the depths of the earth. Depths of the earth. It's like the woman's womb in the earth. The man has the seed, like the tree comes from the seed goes in the ground, the tree comes up. The tree comes from the seed. It doesn't come from the ground, right? Your eyes saw my body. In your book they were all written, the days that were ordained for me. He already knew the end from the beginning, for it was with a companion of them. This right here says the translation is very uncertain. So 16 of Psalm 139. Let me go over here for a second. There we go. So yeah, I've already got it. No thanks. It's already in there. It's in my library. Yep, I'm logged in. There we go. Okay, Psalms. All right. All right. You'll be down to there it is. 139. So this is the Dead Sea Scrolls Bible, a short reference. So if you go here, Psalms 139. For you form my inmost being, you knitted me together. Together you are fearful, wondrous, wonderful are your works. My pain is not hidden from you, by whom I was made in secret. My pain is not hidden from you, by whom I was made in secret. Your eyes saw my unformed body. In your books, each of them was written, the number of the days for its formation, even for it with its corresponding member from them all. So that's interesting. They got a good it's a good translation. So Dead Sea Scrolls Bible by Martin Abegg, Peter Flint, and Eugene Ulrich. Highly recommend that. All right. How precious to me are your thoughts, Elohim, because how vast is their sum. If I would count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I wake up, I am still with you. If only you, Elohim, would kill the wicked. Get away from me, you bloodthirsty men. for they speak against you wickedly. Your enemies take your name in vain. Yahuwah, don't I hate those who hate you? Am I not grieved with those who rise up against you? I hate them with perfect hatred. They have become my enemies. Search me, Elohim, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. See if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the everlasting way. We talk about this a lot, the right way and the wrong way, the everlasting way. Psalm 140, for the chief musician, a psalm by David. Deliver me, Yahuwah, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. Those who devise mischief in their hearts. They continually gather themselves together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Spider's poison is under their lips. Selah. Yahuwah, keep me from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent men who have determined to trip my feet. Let's see here. Yeah, 40. The proud have hid a snare for me and have stretched out ropes for the snares for my feet. They set a stumbling block for me near the path. Selah, or pause. Near the path, that would be the way also. That's another translation. So you go over here to the Thompson Septuagint, Psalm 110, verse 6, 7. Someplace close by the way, they laid a stumbling block near the path. I said to Yahuwah, thou art my Elohim. Hearken, O Yahuwah, to the voice of my supplication. O Yahuwah Elohim, the strength of my salvation. Thou hast screened my head in the day of battle. Deliver me not, O Yahuwah, to the sinner, according to my desire. They have devised mischief against me. Forsake me not, lest they should be exalted. Selah, or pause. As for the head of them that compass me, the mischief of their lips shall cover them. Coals of fire shall fall upon them on the earth, and thou shalt cast them down in afflictions. They shall not bear up under them. A talkative man shall not prosper on the earth. Evil shall hunt the unrighteous man to destruction. I know that Yahuwah will maintain the cause of the poor and the right of the needy ones. Surely the righteous shall give thanks to thy name. The upright shall dwell in thy presence. Psalm 141 starts at 5. Yeah, Psalm 23. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahuwah forever. So Psalms 141, a Psalm of David. O Yahuwah, I have cried to thee. Hear me, attend to the voice of my supplication when I cry to thee. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense. Let me zoom in a little bit more. The lifting up of my hands is an evening sacrifice. That's prayer. Set a watch, O Yahuwah, on my mouth, and a strong door about my lips. Incline not my heart to evil things, to employ pretext for sins with men who work lawlessness, iniquity. Let me not unite with their choice ones. Let the righteous strike me, it is kindness. Let him reprove me, it is like oil on the head. Don't let my head refuse it. Yet my prayer is always against evil deeds. So we're supposed to reprove each other. That's what Messiah said. Love your neighbor as yourself. And Leviticus 19, 17, and 18. Their judges are thrown down by the sides of the rock. They will hear my words, for they are well spoken, as when one plows and breaks up the earth. My bones are scattered at the mouth of Sheol. For my eyes are on you, Yahuwah. The Lord, in you I take refuge. Don't leave my soul destitute. Keep me from the snare which they have laid for me, from the traps of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall together into their own nets, while I pass by. I'll escape, pass by. Psalm 142. Verse 3. A psalm of instruction for David when he was in the cave, a prayer. I cried to Yahuwah with my voice. With my voice I made supplication to Yahuwah. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, you knew my route. On the path in which I walk, they have hidden a snare for me. Look on my right and see, for there is no one who is concerned for me. Refuge has fled from me. No one cares for my soul. I cried to you, Yahuwah. I said, you are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. Listen to my cry, for I am in desperate need. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than me. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may give thanks to your name. The righteous will surround me, for you will be good to me. And recompense me. Soul out of prison. Yep. Psalm 143. A psalm by David. Hear my prayer, Yahuwah. Listen to my petitions. In your faithfulness and righteousness, relieve me. Don't enter into judgment with your servant, for in your sight no man living is righteous. It's not because we're good that we do his commandments. It's because he give us commandments to do. Let's see. His ways make us good, not our ways. Matthew 19:17. And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Elohim. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. Paul says the same thing. Romans 3:12. They are all gone out of the way. They are together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. For the enemy pursues my soul. He has struck my life down to the ground. He has made me live in dark places as those who have been long dead. Therefore my spirit is overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is desolate. I remember the days of old. I meditate on all your doings. I contemplate the work of your hands. I spread out my hands to you. My soul thirsts for you like a parched land. Selah. Hurry to answer me, Yahuwah. My spirit fails. Don't hide your face from me, so that I don't become like those who go down to the pit, sons of perdition. And it's not just giants like the God culture says. Those who go down the pit are the sons of perdition. Let's go here. Perdition. Look it up. The son of perdition, John 17:12 here. Perdition. G684. Apolia, Greek word. Perdition, destruction, waste, damnable, to die, perish, pernicious, utter destruction of vessels, or vessels, some of honor, some for destruction, eternal misery, sons of perdition, those who go down to the pit. Not just Nephilim. The gate that leadeth to destruction. Also, any man to die. Perdition. Wrath. Vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. Perdition. Son of perdition, same thing here, except the son of that man of sin be revealed, the son of the pit. perdition, destruction. God culture comes up with some wacky stuff sometimes. Cause me to hear your loving kindness in the morning, for I trust in you. Cause me to know the way in which I should walk, for I lift up my soul to you. It'd probably be better if they didn't talk about Nephilim or giants, because they screw that up a lot. 8. Messed that up a lot. Excuse me. Deliver me from mine enemies, O Yahuwah, for I have fled to thee for refuge. Teach me to do thy will, for thou art my Elohim. Thy good spirit shall guide me in the straight way, the way of life. Thou shalt quicken me, O Yahuwah, for thy name's sake. In thy righteousness thou shalt bring my soul out of affliction, and in thy mercy thou wilt destroy mine enemies, and wilt destroy all those that afflict my soul, for I am thy servant. Psalm 144. Blessed be Yahuwah, my rock. My rock. Who's the rock? The Bible defines definitions, not us. It tells you. 1 Corinthians 10:4, and all did drink the same spiritual drink. That's the Exodus. For they all drank of the spiritual rock that followed them. We saw who followed them. And that rock was Messiah. Deuteronomy 32, for their rock is not our rock. Right? Messiah said the water flowed out of the rock, right? Messiah said he gives living water. Who teaches my hands to war and my fingers to battle, my loving kindness, my fortress, my high tower, my deliverer. Yahusha means Yahuwah is my deliverer. My shield and he in whom I take refuge, who subdues peoples under me. Elohim, what is man that you care for him, or the son of man that you think of him? Man is like a breath, and his days are like a shadow that passes away. Part your heavens, Elohim, and come down. Touch the mountains, and they will smoke. Throw out lightning and scatter them. Send out your arrows and rout them. Stretch out your hand from above. Rescue me and deliver me. Deliver out of the great waters, out of the hands of the foreigners, Gentiles, strangers, out of covenant. 7:8. Whose mouth has spoken vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of iniquity. O Elohim, I will sing a new song to thee. New song. Revelation 14:3, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. And I thought about it the other day. The Job says that angels at creation sang. I'll look it up in a second. Isaiah 42:10, sing unto Yahuwah a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth, you that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Revelation 5:9, they sung a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to Elohim by thy blood out of every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation. So it tells you actually what they're singing in the new song right here. 5:9, 5:10. And hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. And he's going to have a new creation, right? That's interesting. Job 38:7. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of Elohim shouted for joy. Who hath laid the foundations, whereupon the foundations fasted, the cornerstone thereof. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? I will play to thee on psaltery of 10 strings, even to him who gives salvation to kings, who redeems his servant David from the hurtful sword. Deliver me and rescue me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth has spoken vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of iniquity, whose children are as plants, strengthened in their youth. Their daughters are beautiful, sumptuously adorned after the similitude of a temple. Their garners are full, bursting with one kind of store after another. Their sheep are prolific, multiplying in their streets. Their oxen are fat. There is no falling down on a hedge, nor going out, nor cry in their folds. Happy are the people who are in such a situation. Happy are the people whose Elohim is Yahuwah. Not false Elohim. So, Psalm 145, a praise psalm by David. I will exalt you, my Elohim the King. I will praise your name forever and ever. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Hang on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, back. So you'll see here in the other translations that praise Yahuwah forever and ever is taken out of these other translations. So you know how they took his name out and added Lord in all over the place? Well, in this psalm right here, they decided, oh, we can't have this. So they just took half the verse out. Half the verse, half the verse, half the verse, half the verse, all the way down half the verse. The whole half, they chopped this psalm to pieces. So now we got the Dead Sea Scrolls and we can see, oh, look, they messed with it 2,000 years ago. Brenton Septuagint messed with. Thompson Septuagint, get over here, messed with. Same thing. All the way down. Same thing here. All taken out. So they're all copied from a copy, or it was taken out later. Either way. Psalm 145, taken out. Taken out. All the way down. Aramaic Targums. What do we got here? Taken out. All the way down. Taken out. Taken out. People like to put the Targums up there and say, oh, look how great the Targums are. Well, guess what? Look how not great the Targums are. Messed up. Look how not great the Septuagint is. Messed up. Thompson Septuagint. KJV. On and on and on and on. So, I still use those translations, but can't put translation on a pedestal. Blessed is the day I will praise you. So verse 2. Doesn't even have that in there. Day by day I will bless you. Every day I will bless you. Every day I will bless you. Zoom in a little bit more on these Aramaic Targums here. Hard to read. Yep. So even that part was messed with. It's blessed is the day I will praise you. I will extol your name forever and ever. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Great is Yahuwah and greatly to be praised. His greatness is unsearchable. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. We getting are we getting with the program? They say the name's too holy to pronounce, but here's David saying it over and over and over and over again. One generation will commend your works to another and will declare your mighty acts. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. And think about it. Would the enemy want you to say the Father's name? Would the enemy want to take it out of the scriptures? of the glorious majesty of your honor, of your wondrous works. I'll meditate, praise Yahuwah, and praise his name forever and ever. Men will speak of the might of your awesome acts. I will declare your greatness. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. There's the name. Praise his name. They will utter the memory of your great goodness and will sing of your righteousness. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. I mean, it's just over and over again. So we're going to go verse 8 to 11 here, and I'm going to add that in. Yahuwah is compassionate, merciful, long-suffering, abundant in mercy. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Yahuwah is good to those that wait on him, and his compassions are over all his works. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Let all thy works, O Yahuwah, give thanks to thee, and let thy saints bless thee. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. They shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom and talk of thy dominion. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. To make known to the sons of men his mighty acts, the glory of the majesty of his kingdom. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. Your dominion endures throughout all generations. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Here's a big chunk they took out. God Elohim is faithful in all his words and loving in all his deeds. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. So they just took that whole thing out there. Just crazy. Number one here, the second half of verse 13, beginning with Elohim is faithful, is not present in the Masoretic text. The World English Bible has included the text through the word deeds because this is an acrostic psalm with each verse beginning with a consecutive letter of the Hebrew alphabet. However, the verse beginning with the letter Nun is missing in the Masoretic text. It is present in this verse of the scroll. Yahuwah upholds all who fall and raises up all those who are bowed down. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. The eyes of all wait for you. You give them their food in due season. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Plenty of verses about waiting. Plenty of verses about giving us our food. His word is bread, the bread of life. You open your hand and satisfy the desire of every living thing. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Yahuwah is righteous in all his ways and gracious in all his works. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Yahuwah is near and praise his name forever and ever. They will call on him in truth. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. He will fulfill the desire of those who fear him. He will also hear their cry and will save them. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. Who fears him? Deuteronomy 5:29. Oh, that there were such a heart in them that they would fear me and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever. Yahuwah preserves all those who fear him, but all the wicked he will destroy. Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. My mouth will speak the praise of Yahuwah. Let all flesh bless his holy name. How you going to bless his name if you don't know it? Praise Yahuwah and praise his name forever and ever. This is for a memorial. The last line of Psalm 145 is apparently a postscript. Not all the words on this line of the scroll can be read. This is for a memorial. That is awesome. Awesome. Let's see. All right, we'll do 146. Hallelujah, a psalm of Aggeus and Zacharias. This is just because it was translated into Greek. It would be hallelujah. My soul praise Yahuwah. While I live, will I praise Yahuwah. I will sing praises to my Elohim as long as I exist. What's David saying? He's going to praise. The name, trust not in princes nor in the children of men, in whom there is no safety. His breath shall go forth, and he shall return to his earth. In that day all his thoughts shall perish. Blessed is he whose helper is the Elohim of Jacob, whose hope is in the Yahuwah his Elohim, who made heaven and earth, the sea, and all things in them, who keeps truth forever, who executes judgment for the wronged, who gives food to the hungry. Yahuwah looses the fettered ones. Yahuwah gives wisdom to the blind. Amen. Yahuwah sets up the broken down. Yahuwah loves the righteous. Yahuwah preserves the strangers. Yahuwah preserves the foreigners. He upholds the fatherless and the widow, but the way of the wicked he turns upside down. From Yahuwah the earth, in his making known all his works, his mighty deeds. Okay, so they didn't have all that preserved. But we can tell that that is not in our translation. So, stinks, but it is what it is. Gone. Okay, gotta stop doing that. My cursor's wacky. Okay. Psalm 146. Hallelujah. Yep. Same thing. Gone. Yahuwah will reign forever. Your Elohim, O Zion, to all generations. Praise Yah. 147. My cursor's all over the place.